Hey y'all, I'm happy to be out in the woods today reviewing Mac Baren's HH Old Dark Fired Hot Pressed Pipe Tobacco. So this is a really awesome blend and we've got a lot to discuss about it. So let's go ahead and get us a jar note. First thing here. So this is a Burley, Virginia blend, and the Burley is dark fired Kentucky leaf Burley. And we're going to talk about that. So, it's a flake. So, lots of aroma. It's just wafting out of this jar. This is an aged jar, a couple years at least. I'm getting bread, really pleasant bread. I get barbecue. Get vinegar, like a vinegary barbecue sauce. Sort of that smoked meats taste, smell. It's woodsy. I get some earth in there, almost like sticks. And there's an aged quality to it, an aged smell, like an old, just sort of rustic, woodsy tone to the smell here. Very nice. The bread, lovely jar note. It almost makes your mouth water. The bread, the barbecue, the woodsy tone. Very nice. All right. Got us a pipe packed right here with Old Dark Fired. This is the Meerschaum Diplomat 5th Avenue bent stem. This is an awesome pipe. It's got a hardwood bottom. It comes in straight, real deep bowl, thick walls, and the deep bowls are good for flakes. And I smoke Old Dark Fired pretty much. This is one of the only pipes I smoke it in. I got one other pipe that I smoke it in every now and then. It's also a tall, deep bowl, but this is an awesome pipe for flakes. So I'm gonna fire this up and we're gonna talk about the blend. We're gonna talk about, I'll tell you about Mac Baren a little bit, and we'll talk about the blend itself, sort of what I'm tasting, kind of what it puts me in the mind of while I'm smoking it. Woods. Woodsy, earthy. Little vinegary. A little bit of that barbecue, and that's pleasant. I like that a lot. It smells more like, you get more of that meaty tone in the jar note. It does taste more sort of like a barbecue sauce. So like it's woodsy, it's earthy, right from the first light. There's like a sort of a dark, aged note to this. So Mac Baren, old tobacco company, started in 1826 in Svendborg, Denmark. And they were in business there for a while. And then the Halberg family, specifically a guy named Harold Halberg, saw the potential of, I guess, the tobacco industry, and he purchased the company in 1887. And they changed it to the name to Harold Halberg Tobacco Factories. And in fact, as far as the HH line of tobaccos, the HH stands for Harold Halberg. The original Halberg guy who bought the company way back in 1887. Sort of an homage to him. And they were in business for quite a while. And he passed it on to his two sons, taught them everything he knew about pipe tobacco, passed it on to them. And they passed it on to their sons. And Harold Halberg's grandson is actually the one that launched the Mac Baren blends line. And they were so popular that in 1995, they actually changed the name of the company to Mac Baren Tobacco Company, which is what we know it as today. And they do a lot of blends. Shoot, they're the second largest producer of tobacco in the world. STG, Scandinavian Tobacco Group, being the first largest. And apparently they're very passionate about tobacco. As far as the leaf that they use for their blends, that they believe you can't measure tobacco, you know, and put it in spreadsheets and judge it that way. They believe it must be tasted to determine the quality, and so they're very passionate about the leaf that they choose. I mean, I feel like that's going to sort of show in the quality of their blends. They got a guy, the master blender is a guy named Per George Jensen. And he really does seem passionate about his blending and tobacco in general. And that's who you want blending your tobacco, somebody that has just got a fire for tobacco and pipe tobacco. So the first HH blend was introduced in 2006. And the line just grew and grew. And it's known as their premium line of tobaccos, pipe tobaccos. Got a very good reputation as far as quality and taste. So what about the tobacco? This is good. It's so Burley, Virginia. The Burley is Kentucky fired, dark fired Kentucky leaf. And what that is here in America, mostly in the state of Kentucky, but also in some of the other surrounding states, that's where they produce what's called the Kentucky leaf. And what they do is they grow the burley and then they hang it in barns. And they fire cure it with slow, very controlled, very well maintained smoldering fires. And they do that for an extended period of time. And that's what makes this burley leaf Kentucky dark fired. And it gives it a very specific quality. It's nice. It's very, very nice. It's woodsy. It's earthy. You get that barbecue tone, which I really like. And this is actually the only blend. This is the only experience I have with Kentucky leaf. But I feel like I'm getting a good experience here with it. They do use it in other blends. I'm sure it's awesome for blending with. You know, it's just got that kind of taste. It's specific, you know it. It's strong, it's bold, and this is a strong, bold blend. The Virginias shine too. I get some good bread in here, but it plays well with that barbecue vinegary rustic earth taste. Comes in a flake. I'll show you what it looks like. Very pretty, uniform. Well done flakes. Get a good look at that. Check that out. Very thin, very thin. But well pressed and well put together. So I will say this blend takes some prep time. And what I do is I like to rub it out. And the way I do that is I just take, like this pipe right here, it can hold I got 2 flakes in here very comfortably. I have shoved 3 in here. And I will say, as far as prep time, you got to sort of be careful. Not that long ago, I had a smoke in this, and I shoved 3 flakes in here rubbed out, and it was a little too much. It was packed very tightly. So I got 2 in here today, and it seems really comfortable. But it does take some prep time, and I just take those flakes, I'll sort of bend one of them in half, and rub it out like this, and sort of just let it fall on a piece of paper or a tray, whatever I'm breaking up my tobacco on. And then some of it's going to fall out of your hand, and then you're left with sort of like a ball. And I just let that ball fall and just pull it apart, and it's just basically like a ribbon. Now this is going to come out into a broken flake. It's not going to quite be a ribbon, but I like to rub it out where it's similar to a ribbon, and it packs well. So that's how I prepare this tobacco. I rub it out like that, and then also once I got 2 flakes rubbed out and really broken up well, today I let it crisp for about 10-15 minutes, let it dry just a little bit, because I will say my flakes are good and moist. I don't mind the prep time. I don't mind a blend that takes a little prep time, because you know that's part of the fun of pipe smoking, is fiddling with your tobacco and sort of playing with it and holding it, feeling of it. So I like all that part of it. So this tobacco is hot pressed. These flakes are compressed together, and then they add steam, and that helps to sort of blend it together. Here, got a tin of it right here. Got a tin description. This is so it comes in 50-gram tins, 100-gram tins. You can also get it ready rolled bulk, and it comes in 1-pound boxes. So this is the 3.5 ounce. Old Dark Fired is a bold flake of dark fired burleys in a well-balanced unity with flue-cured Virginias. This flake is hot pressed, meaning that during the pressing, heat is added by steam to the tobaccos, which causes the tobacco to intensify the marrying process, giving us a bolder tobacco. The robust, earthy flavor of the dark fire burleys shines through in the taste, and you will experience a deeply satisfying smoke indeed. And yeah, I will say it is absolutely satisfying. This is a very satisfying smoke. This is a slow burner, because again, you're basically working with a broken flake, even if you rub it out. But I feel like that just sort of helps you enjoy it. It's a nice, slow smoke, and a long smoke. I'll get at least an hour out of this bowl. The other day, when I packed those 3 flakes in here, I got about 2 hours. I'm a slow smoker anyway, but so I rub them out, take some prep time, burn slow. It is very rustic tasting, and you know, because of that, it goes great outside. I absolutely love smoking this blend outside. Out here in the woods, it just fits. It's very satisfying, and I will say, I feel like you're gonna get some good nicotine here. There's a good nick hit with this blend, and I always feel it when I'm smoking this tobacco. And if I don't take it slow, it can sort of build and build, and it can be too much. So that's another thing about it burning slow. The nicotine sort of it gets mitigated out just right if you take it slow. But there is some good nicotine here. That I would say this blend borders on strong as far as the nicotine content. So the HH line by Mac Baren is supposed to be their pure tobacco line with pretty much no flavorings, no toppings, just natural tobacco. And that's what you get here. Every taste and note that you get is natural. It's coming from the way the tobacco is processed and the way it was grown and the soil it was grown in. Yeah, this blend just goes great outside. When I taste this, it puts me in the mind of, if y'all have ever seen those old black and white photos of like farmers out in the field, and it's just real dusty, and they've got that old timey farming equipment, maybe even with mules, or you see pictures of old barns with you know, old timey metal tractor wheels leaning against them. That sort of old farming back in time feel, that's what this makes me think about. And that's the kind of frame of mind that it puts me in. Old, rustic. It's like you're stepping back in time, sort of. Mm-hmm. So I get vinegar, I get earth, I get barbecue, I get a little bit of raisin, I get smoky, I get woodsy, I get bread, I get like a little bit of a phantom sweetness that's pleasant. And then a lot of times on the very tail end, I get a little bit of cinnamon. Very complex. But very well blended, very well melded together. It's almost like, uh, you know, this is one of those blends that is just, it's a full blend. You feel it in your mouth. It's almost like eating a meal. And if it was a meal, this blend would be like getting your barbecue sandwich, getting your smoky baked beans, and then getting maybe some cinnamon toast for dessert. All right here. So Mac Baren makes a lot of blends. I mean, a lot of blends. They got the Mac Baren line, okay? They have the HH line, which is what we're smoking. They make 7Cs. They make Backwoods. They make Amphora, which makes Amphora has several Danish lines, and I've smoked one of theirs that I like a lot called Amphora Full Aroma. It's a pouch tobacco, really good, raspberry tasting Virginia, very nice. They make those. They make Three Nuns. They make Saint Bruno. They make Capstan. They make even more blends that I don't even know anything about, but they make a lot of lines of tobacco. So you know how they say, as far as buying your produce, your fresh produce and your fruit, you can always taste the farm to table quality if you buy it, you know, locally, or if you buy it fresh right off of a farm close to you. You can always taste that farm to table right out of the field quality. That's here. You sort of, I would say, you getting farm to pipe taste with this tobacco. You can really taste the earthiness and just the, the quality. You can taste the connection to the earth in this blend, and it's very nice. There's nothing added. The wonderful flavors and notes that you're getting, that I'm getting here, are from the interplay of the tobaccos themselves. And I say that's special. That makes this blend special. Any blend that's natural like this, that you can get those sorts of notes off of just the tobacco, that's really cool. So I would say this tobacco is a little more expensive than most tins. Right now, if you were to buy it in a tin, if you were to buy this tin, you could get it for about $8.20 an ounce. Now, if you buy it in bulk, it's a little cheaper. If you buy it in bulk, it's about $5 an ounce. Currently, at the filming of this presentation, it's $5 an ounce bulk, about $8.20 an ounce in the tin. Now, the bulk is ready rubbed, and that's probably pretty nice if you don't like having to deal with the prep time. If you don't like having to rub it out, you could go for the bulk already ready rubbed. But I will say, as far as aging, this blend has awesome aging properties because of the way it's pressed and it's melted together in the tin. But in the bulk, it's not going to age quite as well. It's still going to be fine. It's not going to go bad. It's just not going to age pressed together in a tin for you. So just a little something to think about. Shoot, you can also get it in 1 pound boxes, and if you were going to age it, that would probably be a good way to get it. I've got this jar, and I've got several tins that I'm aging in the cellar. So this is a great blend to cellar. You get a pretty good volume of smoke. Yeah, for me, this is a very special smoke, and it's not going to be an all-day smoke or even an everyday smoke. I wouldn't want to burn myself out on this. It's so special and so complex, and it satisfies so well that I can have a bowl of this and I'm good for a while. Of course, you know, it'd be great to smoke it all day, every day, but I couldn't do that. It's too much going on. Mm-hmm. Very, very rustic. And that phantom sweetness is nice. As I'm going down this bowl, the sweetness is sort of intensifying just a little bit. It's never overpowering, but it's I can notice it, and it's nice. That sweetness, a little bit of bread, a little bit of cinnamon, all swimming around in a rustic, earthy, woodsy tobacco flavor. Very nice. Love smoking it in a cob. I don't think I've ever even smoked this blend in a briar. Yep, I think Mac Baren really knows what they're doing, and this is a great blend. And I bet you some of the other HH blends, the tobaccos in that line, I bet you they're really good. They do HH Rustica. I think they have a lot of Kia, HH Latakia. And I bet you any of those is going to be a good choice. This is just a nice, deep, smoky, leathery, vinegary, wonderful experience. This tobacco is very satisfying. It's very engaging. There's a lot to keep you there. It's complex. It's bold. It ages great. I would say, as far if the money is something you're thinking about, I would say it's worth the extra money. In my opinion, it's worth what you pay for it. I mean, you know, it's so woodsy and so rustic tasting that I feel like this blend really fits me. Being from the country, this blend just suits me really well. I identify with it. I highly recommend it. Well, thank y'all so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Feel free to drop a comment. If you smoke Old Dark Fire, or if you have some experience with Kentucky Leaf, drop a comment. Tell us what you think about it or what you know about it. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Like this content if you dig it. Really appreciate y'all watching this review. See y'all next time.